Hello friends, I am Dr. A.U. Sutar, Associate Professor, Department of Zoology, Sadhguru Gadge Maharaj College, Kar. Today, in this video, we are going to discuss model number 4, that is Amphibia, in which we will discuss the general characters of Amphibia, then classification of Amphibia up to orders, and parental care in Amphibia. This module is from BSc Part 2, Semester 3, and paper number 5, Animal Diversity, second. Hello friends, this is model number 4. The name of the module is Amphibia, in which we are going to discuss general features and classification up to orders. Let us discuss the general characteristics. This is the first character, that is the animals belongs to the Amphibia are the first cold-blooded vertebrates from evolution point of view which came to the land. The class Amphibia includes about 3000 species. They are amphibious in nature, that is, they can live on the land as well as in the water. They are mostly found in warm countries. The body of these animals is divided into three regions, that is head, two regions, that is head and trunk. Tail may be present in some amphibians. The skin is smooth or rough, having the glands which keep it moist. There are paired fins. The paired fins are absent in these animals. Unpaired fins may be present. Two pairs of limbs are also used for locomotion except Sicilians. The gills are present at least in the larval stage. Some adult forms also carry external gills in addition to the lungs, for example, Necturus and Proteus. The respiratory organs are the lungs, buccopharyngeal cavity, skin, and gills. When you see the heart, it is three-chambered, having two auricles and one ventricle. The alimentary canal, urinary and reproductive tracts open into a common chamber that is called as the cloaca, which opens outside through cloacal aperture. There are 10 pairs of cranial nerves in the amphibians. This is about the classification of the Amphibia. Class Amphibia is divided into three orders. Number 1, order Apoda. This is the second order, Urodila, and this is the third one, that is the Anura. Let us discuss order number 1, that is Apoda. Apoda means without legs. These are limbless organisms with scales on their body. So legs are absent in these animals. That's why they are called as limbless. And these organisms are the scales on their body. They are also known as blind worms because their eyes are covered by skin or sometimes bones also. The tentacles, they are present on their head, are chemosensory organ, and they help them to detect the underground prey. For example, Sicilians. These animals possess venom glands. They secrete mucus to reduce water loss. These are the examples of the order Apoda, that is Ichthyophis and Ureotypus. Let us discuss the example, that is Ichthyophis. These are limbless amphibians, usually live in moist soil and lead a burrowing life. It is elongated and, like animals, measures about 30 centimeters in length. Color is dark brown or bluish black with yellow bands along the iris. The skin has transverse growths, slime glands, skirt glands to produce irritating fluid and is commonly known as sicilla. The limbs and girdles are absent. Tail is short or vestigial. Eye is small. Skull is compact, roofed with bony vertebrae. Sexes are separate and the larva has three pairs of external gills. So these are some figures of the Ichthyophis. Let us discuss the second order, that is Urodela. These are the organisms with tail. The body is elongated with four equally sized limbs. In these animals, the skin is smooth with poison glands. Fertilization is internal. They feed on insects and worms, for example, salamanders. They are found under leaf litter in the soil or in the water. In the southern US, they reproduce primarily in the winter seasons. There are very little differences between male and female. The spermatospores are utilized for internal fertilization. They possess hidden gills. These are the examples, that is Salamandra and Proteus. Let us discuss the example, that is Salamandra. It is distributed in Europe, Eastern Asia and North America. They are commonly called as fire salamanders. This is a lizard-like animal. Body is divisible into head, trunk and tail. The color of the body is brilliantly black with irregular patches of yellow on back and limbs. The forelimbs and hind limbs are well developed in salamanders. The head contains mouth, prominent eyes and nostrils. Lungs are present. Gills and gill clefts are absent in the adults. Tail is without tail fins, and these are some pictures of the salamanders. This is the order number 3, that is Anura, or it is also called as Silentia. There are about 3,400 species of the Anura in the world. They have four limbs. The front limbs are elongated and modified to take the jump. The head and trunk are fused together. The tail is present only in the larval stage and is lost in the adults. Fertilization is external and the eggs are laid in water. For example, frogs and toads. Let us discuss the example, that is the frog. Frog is any member of a diverse and largely carnivorous group of short-bodied, tailless amphibians. An adult frog has a stout body, protruding eyes, cleft tongue, limbs folded underneath, and no tail is there. They have glandular skin with secretions ranging from distasteful to the toxic. Their skin varies in color from well camouflaged dappled brown, gray, and green to vivid patterns of bright red or yellow and black to show toxicity and ward off predators. The body of the frog is divided into two parts, the head and trunk. The head is almost triangular and somewhat flattened. The head is broadly joined with short, somewhat flattened ovoid trunk. When you see the posterior end of the trunk, in between hind limbs present a cloacal opening, or it is also called as the vein, through which the fecal matter, urine, and reproductive bodies like sperms and ova are discharged. The forelimbs are meant to hold and support front part of the body at the time of jumping, but the hind limbs assist in jumping and swimming as the waves are present in between the toes. These are the figures of the frog. Now about the parental care in amphibia. Looking after the eggs or young until they are independent to defend from predators is known as the parental care. It is very important factor for the survival. Amphibians show great diversity in parental care. There are major two types of the parental care. Number one is protection by the nests, nurseries or shelters, and second type is direct caring by the parents. Let us discuss the first part, that is protection by nests and nurseries or shelters. There are different points. Number one is selection of the site. Many amphibians lay eggs in protected moist microhabitat on the land. Many tropical frogs and toads lay eggs on land near water. Many tree frogs lay their eggs not on land but on leaves and branches overhanging water. For example, Rhacophorus and Hylodes. Second method is defending eggs or territories. Males of green frog, Rana clamitans, and other species maintain territories and attack small intruders to defend eggs. Male or female even guards the eggs. Protection by nests, nurseries, or shelters. So in this figure, you can observe different types of parental care in the amphibians. So here, a tree frog guarding the eggs glued to leaf overhanging water. In this case, there is a foam nest of Rhacophora species in sloping burrow near the water. In this figure, there is a foam nest floating on the water, and here The Hyla fever made the mud nest, and in this nest there is a process of egg laying takes place. Number three is the direct development. In some terrestrial or tree frogs, such as Arthroleptis and Hylodes, the eggs hatch directly into little frogs, thus avoiding larval mortality. Next is the foam nests. Many amphibians convert copious mucous secretions into nests for their young ones. Next is the mud nest. The Brazilian tree frog Hyla faber make the digs little crater-like holes or nursery in mud in shallow water in which the female lays her eggs. Then tree nests. The South American tree frogs, that is Hylomedusa hypochondrials, lays eggs in folded leaf nest with margins glued together by the cloacal secretion. Then gelatinous bags in Phrynis hylas Bayroi, large eggs are enclosed in sausage-shaped transparent gelatinous membranous bag secreted by female and left in mountain streams. This is the second major type, that is direct carrying by the parents, in which there are subtypes. Number one is coiling around the eggs. In Congo eel, Amphiuma, and certain Sicilians, the female lays large eggs in burrows in damp soil and carefully guards them by coiling her body around them until they hatched. Second is the transferring tadpoles to water. Some species of the small frogs in both tropical Africa and South America, the hatching tadpoles fasten themselves to the back of one of the parent with their sucker like mouth and transported to water. Number three is egg glued to the body. Many amphibians, instead of remaining with the eggs, carry the eggs glued to the body. For example, dusky salamander. So in this figure, you can observe the different direct parental care in amphibia. Here, this is the female Ectopus coiling the uh, coiling the body around the eggs. Then in this figure, there is a transportation of tadpole attached to back of parent. Here, in this figure, there is a species with the eggs, carrying the eggs. Then this is the male Alaitis species carrying eggs around his thighs. Here, a marsupial frog with eggs exposed in open brood pouch on the back. This is one more species with flap of dorsal brood sac cut open to show eggs. Here, this is the Pipa species. Eggs develop completely into individual capsules on the back of the female. And this is the froglets inside the buccal sacs cut open of male frog. The next type is the eggs in back pouches. In marsupial frogs or toads, the female carries the eggs on her back, either in an open oval depression, a closed pouch, or in individual pockets. So just we have seen in this figure. Then organs as brooding pouches. Male of terrestrial South American Darwin's frog, that is Rhinoderma darwini, pushes at least two fertilized eggs into his relatively large vocal sacs, and here they undergo complete development to emerge out as fully formed froglets. Viviparity. Some anurans are ovoviviparous. They retain eggs in the oviducts, and the females gives birth to living young ones. This is the importance of parental care. It is important for survival of young ones. It improves offspring's quality in a way that leads to increased offspring survival and reproduction in future when parents are no longer associated with offsprings. These are the references used to prepare this presentation. This is assignment number 4. Question number 1, give the silent features of amphibia. Question number 2, describe parental care in amphibia with suitable examples. Question number 3, write a note on Apoda. Question number 4, write a note on Urodela. So you solve this assignment on your note in your notebook or on the paper. Make the PDF and submit your assignment on my email. My email ID is piyusutar@gmail.com. Thank you.